Riddle me this, everyone. Is it possible that everyone who told me Batman Forever was a bad movie just has wrong opinions? Cause I'm leaning that way, to be 100% honest. Cause I just got done watching Batman Forever for the first time, and man, I loved it. I thought it was stellar. I thought it was great, and I kind of just want to talk about it, right? So, the things I knew before going in, I didn't know a lot, but the things I knew was that Jim Carrey was the Riddler. I didn't know how he was going to play the Riddler, but I knew he was the Riddler. And my only experience with the Riddler prior is the Arkham games. Now, I love the Riddler in the Arkham games. So, really, my only expectation for this movie was I better like the Riddler, and I like Jim Carrey, so I'll probably like it. I did not expect him to go this way with the Riddler, but, for what it's worth, I loved Jim Carrey's Riddler. It wasn't the Arkham Riddler, but I loved it. I seriously loved it. I thought it was just so much energy, so fun. This whole movie has so much energy, and it is so fun, but it doesn't go all the way with it, which I was under the impression that this movie was going to go all the way camp. I was under the impression that this movie was a complete 180 turn from the Burton films, but it really isn't. Now, I've never seen Batman Returns. Keep that in mind. I've only seen the first Batman that Burton does. Don't worry, I'm gonna watch Returns eventually. I need to catch up on a lot of Batman. I was Marvel, right? I'm not a big DC guy, but I'm here for Batman, and I like Batman. So yeah, I knew the Riddler, and I knew that it had like a neon aesthetic, which is the primary reason I watched the film, because I'm a huge fan of that, neon, bright colors sort of aesthetic. But really what this was actually more of a neon goth aesthetic, which was really interesting. I really liked how, the neon bright colors contrasted with the gothic atmosphere of Gotham City that Burton had established, really. And this film has a lot of similarities to the Burton projects. Burton produced it, and I think that that's pretty noticeable because it's not a 180 turn from the Burton films. It's actually quite... it's in spirit with the Burton films, while also being not in spirit with the Burton films. Because really, the best way to describe it is, imagine that you mashed the 1960s Batman, the Adam West Batman, with the Tim Burton Batman. Imagine you mashed those two together. This is the film that would come out. Because it's got the campiness, it's got the goofiness, there's lots of really goofy dialogue and lots of, oh no, it's Batman, and there's like a holy blank Batman moment in this movie, and Robin's in it, and it's got all that 60s Batman really campy stuff. There's a bat submarine, I believe. Yeah, like there's just all this campy Batman stuff from the 60s, but then also it's got the gothic atmosphere, at least of the city, mashed in with neon lights, which is new, but it's got that gothic atmosphere from the Burton films, and it really continues Batman's sort of the themes from the Burton films as well, at least from the first one. I can't speak for the second one, obviously, but I thought it felt like a Burton film. I did. I thought that it felt like the perfect blend of the Burton Batman with the 60s Batman. And, just throwing a bunch of neon lights too, and that was the film. I had no idea that Two-Face was in the movie, I don't think, and I wasn't expecting him to be this prominent either. Like, I saw him on the box, and I was like, oh, cool, Two-Face. But I expected the Riddler to be the main villain of this movie, and that was kind of weird that he wasn't. But they were about equal. I would say they were about equal as far as how much screen time they got. And I really loved when they were together, when the Riddler and Two-Face were together. That was really good. They have such good chemistry. And what's weird is I went on IMDb after the movie, and apparently Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones really hated each other. So that's wow, because they have great chemistry in this movie, and they're so funny. Like when they're becoming best supervillain friends. In that montage of them, just committing all the crimes and being the happiest duo of all time. That made me laugh so hard. There's so many really funny parts of this movie, and that's the thing. I don't think some people who like complain about how campy this movie is, I don't think they understand that that is intentional. At least I can't imagine that they understand that. It's possible they just don't like the direction altogether. But this movie is not accidentally campy. This is a creative decision to have it be this wild, and I think it totally works. I think it totally works. Because once again, they didn't go all out with it. They went just enough with it. They blended them. It really is a perfect 50-50 of dark Batman and goofy Batman. And there, there was the dark moments in here. There was a lot of really, really sort of somber moments. Batman being contemplative, brooding as he does. But then there's also like a lot of really funny moments, a lot of little heartwarming moments and stuff like that. There's not a dull moment in the movie, really. My only problems, if I had any, because I actually don't have that many problems with it, but if I had any problem with it, I would say, and this is a problem that couldn't be fixed except by changing the actor. The dude who played Robin, I would probably cast someone else just because I think he looks too old to be Robin. But that's just my own personal, like, I prefer Robin to be a kid. I prefer him to be young rather than like a college student. Especially because Batman like treats him like a kid in the movie. Like they do the whole adopted son sort of angle, but this dude's a college student who drives a motorcycle, and that was a little bit weird. I had to suspend my disbelief just a little bit there. I had to be like, all right, I guess that's Robin. I would have cast someone younger. I don't think it would even. He could still be obsessed with the motorcycle and stuff if he was like 16. But he's like in his 20s, and that's the issue there. So yeah, I would have made Robin like maybe a 16-year-old, something like that. I prefer Robin to be younger, but for the purposes of this movie, I think 16 would be fine. If you really want to push it, we could do 18, but yeah, I don't know. I just prefer young Robin to this Robin. I liked the little Nightwing reference though. That was cute. There's a lot of like little cute references to comics in this. Like he says something about Metropolis at one point. This movie's so quotable, by the way, too. I'm gonna be quoting this for a while. It's very quotable and it's intentionally quotable too. That's something you have to realize. This movie is intentionally the way it is. It's not accidentally campy. It is very much intentionally campy. And the dialogue is supposed to be funny, and I thought it was funny. I laughed like throughout this, and I actually haven't done a video like this in a while where I just talk about a movie that's not Godzilla. So I apologize if it's not as good as my usual ranting about movies, but I hope you enjoyed this because I enjoyed Batman Forever.